let's begin our presentations with a foundational understanding of malware. So according to the book Computer Security Principle and Practice by William Sterling and Laurie Brown, as software designed to cause damage to a computer, server, client, or computer network. So this definition emphasizes that malware is malicious software intentionally created to harm, exploit, or disrupt the system, network, or user. So now let's explore 5 common types of malware. First is virus, a piece of code that attaches itself to a legitimate program and spread when the infected program is run. The second one is worm, self-replicating program that spread independently across system, often exploit new network vulnerabilities. So third is Trojans. Discuss illegitimate software, but once installed, they perform malicious actions behind the scenes. So fourth is spyware. Secretly gather user data without consent, often used for surveillance or data theft. So at the end is ransomware. Encrypts a victim's file and demands payment, typically in cryptocurrency, to restore access. Does malware matter? First, our interconnection world full of device network create countless opportunity for malware to strike, putting everyone from individuals to government at risk. Second, malware evolve constantly with attackers finding new ways to bypass security. And third, the consequences are massive: financial loss, data breach, and disrupt service. Take the 2017 WannaCry ransomware attack. It exploited a window vulnerability affected over 200,000 computers in 150 countries and caused over 4 billion in damage. Hospital in UK and HS had to cancel surgery and business lost critical data. So WannaCry showed us that unpatched system and weak backup can lead to chaos, emphasizing the need for timely updates and preparedness. My team will explore specific malware types and how to combat them. WannaCry was a ransomware worm that exploited a vulnerability in the Microsoft Windows known as KTW. It spread rapidly across network, encrypting files on infected computers and demand Bitcoin payment to unlock them. This was not just typical virus; it was self-propagation and caused widespread disruptions globally within hours. So the second one is scale. The scale of the attack was massive. WannaCry infected over 200,000 computers in more than 150 countries. It didn't affect individuals. It targeted critical infrastructure, including hospital, banking, and government agencies. So the global research and speed of infection made it one of the most significant cyber attacks in recent history. So yang ketiga, then I will talk about malware, type of malware. So the first one is ransomware. The characteristic is encrypt files or lock system, demand ransom. The second one is propagation through phishing, malicious site, or network flaw. The third one is impact, causes data loss, financial loss, or operational downtime. So the second one is virus. Characteristic attached to legitimate file, need user actions to spread, like opening of files. So the second one is propagations via infected files, email attachments, or USB drive. So the third one is impact, corrupt files, steal data, or grant unauthorized access. So let's take a closer look at 3 specific types of malware. First is worms, trojans, and spyware. So first I will talk about worms. These are self-replicating programs that spread across systems without any user interactions. They typically propagate through networks, email, or by exploiting system vulnerabilities. So worm can clog bandwidth, install malicious backdoor, or deliver other types of malware, causing widespread disruptions. So the second one is Trojans, named after the Trojan horse. This is legitimate software to trick user. So they are often delivered via email attachment, downloads, or fake website. Once inside a system, they can steal sensitive data, create backdoors, or install additional malware without the user's acknowledge. So, finally is spyware. This type of malware operates in the background, monitor user activity silently. It collects data like password, browsing history, and other sensitive informations. Spyware is often spread through the phishing emails, malicious ads, or even bundled with legitimate software. Its impact include identity theft, privacy breach, slow system performance, and even system crashes. So understanding these types helps us recognize how malware behave and the difference from form of risk it poses individuals and organizations.
So, our group choosing WannaCry as our study case, and it is one of the deadliest ransomware that happened. So, WannaCry is a type of ransomware which is malicious software designed to encrypt files on infected system. After encryption, it displays a message demanding a ransom payment in Bitcoin to unlock the files. What made WannaCry so dangerous was its ability to spread rapidly across networks using a built-in worm function, meaning that it didn't require human interaction to infect other machines at all. WannaCry exploits a critical vulnerability in Microsoft Windows known as Eternal Blue, officially tracked as CVE 2017 and 0144. This vulnerability allows attackers to send specially crafted packets to machines using the SMB protocol, which is normally used for file sharing on networks. What's scary is that one of the machines was infected. WannaCry used a worm-like mechanism to spread automatically to other machines in the same network, without needing users to click anything. Even worse, this vulnerability had already been patched by Microsoft 2 months earlier, but many organizations hadn't applied the patch. The WannaCry outbreak occurred in May 2017 and infected more than 230,000 systems across 150 countries in just a few days. Some major victims included UK's National Health Service (NHS), where their hospital system went offline, surgeries were cancelled, and ambulance has to be redirected. The next victim is Renault from France. They had to temporarily shut down factories to contain the spread. And the last victim is FedEx from USA. Their delivery systems and logistics were severely disrupted. And the total estimated damage from WannaCry was over $4 billion USD globally. And there were three major weaknesses that allow WannaCry to succeed. The first one is unpatched Windows system. Even though Windows released the patch MS70010 in March, many machines remain vulnerable due to poor update management. The next weaknesses is poor network segmentation. Once WannaCry is inside, it could move laterally within internal networks, affecting all connected devices. And the last weaknesses that cause WannaCry is lack of backup. Victims without offline backup had no way to recover their encrypted files unless they paid the ransom. And here are the main lesson every organization that need to learn from WannaCry. First one is always apply security patches as soon as they are available. Secondly, use endpoint protection and intrusion detection prevention system IDPS to monitor and block suspicious behavior. And third one is implement network segmentation to isolate critical system from general access network. And lastly, perform regular data backup and store them offline or in secure cloud storage.
The first one, prevention. Preventive measures are crucial to reduce the risk of a ransomware infection like WannaCry, which exploit known vulnerabilities in outdated Windows system. First, system and software hardening. Regularly update and patch all operating systems, especially Windows, to close vulnerabilities such as external blue exploit by WannaCry. Then, disable unnecessary service, especially SMV1, and use endpoint protection software with real-time ransomware shields. Next, network security controls. Segment the network to isolate critical systems from general users, and then deploy firewalls and configure them to block suspicious IP address and restrict access to port 445. And then implement intrusion prevention system IPS with rules to detect exploit attempts. Next, user awareness and training. Conduct phishing awareness training to help users identify malicious email attachment or links. Emphasis caution when opening unexpected files, especially from unknown senders. Finally, backup strategy. Maintain regular offline and offsite backups of critical data. Test backup restoration periodically to ensure data integrity. Next, detection. Early detection allows prompt response before ransomware can fully encrypt data across systems. First one is firewall. Use antivirus or EDR endpoint detection and response tools to detect ransomware signatures and behaviors like mass file encryption, abnormal SMB traffic. Enable logging and configure alerts for unusual file access or encryption patterns. Sudden process execution from unknown binaries. Next, email security. Deploy email filtering to scan and quarantine suspicious attachments and links. Use sandboxing to analyze attachment before delivery. The last one is containment. If WannaCry or any ransomware is detected, immediate containment is essential to limit the spread and impact. Isolation: immediately disconnect infected machines from the network to prevent propagation via SMB. Disable network shares and block SMB communication temporarily. For communication, notify the internal IT security team and management, communicate to users not to interact with suspicious files or links, and shut down and quarantine. Shut down compromised system safely to halve encryption process, quarantine affected system for forensic analysis.
So I will be talking about the malware response and mitigation plan. So I will talk about the eradication. First, we can immediate isolation of infected system is paramount to prevent lateral movement. So we can disconnect all network interfaces and prohibit devices to contain the ransomware. Then we can use tools like Sophos virus removal tool to scan and remove WannaCry elements. Second, we can patch the vulnerabilities. Apply Microsoft MS 17010 security update to eliminate the external blue exploit. And then we can also disable server message block, SMBV1 protocols if not essential. So recovery. In recovery, we can restore data from backups. This prioritize backup created before the attack to avoid reintroducing malware, and verify backup integrity before restoration to ensure no residual encryption. Decryption and forensic analysis. We can use tools like WannaCry to extract encryption keys from memory if system haven't been rebooted, and then engage cybersecurity experts to analyze attacks vectors and identify compromised system. And the last one is system validation. Conduct entropy checks on files to detect residual encryption, reboot affected system from scratch if decryption isn't feasible. So the next one is communication. Internal coordination. Establish a command center to streamline IT and leadership decision. Use encrypted channels like WhatsApp if email systems are compromised. Second is stockholder updates. So notify employee, customer and partners about the breach scope and recovery progress. And avoid technical jargon in output statement to maintain clarified regulatory compliance. Report the attack to law enforcement and regulatory bodies. Document all steps taken for post-incident reviews and audits. So the last one is conclusion. The WannaCry attacks highlights the critical need to regular system updates, secure backups, and strong incident response plans. By staying proactive and prepared, organizations can significantly reduce the risk and impact of ransomware threats in the future.